All right, welcome to a new episode of the Scout Life Race Terra edition. This time, I mean it. I know in the last video, I said about 4 times, welcome to the new episode. And it's hard, man, because these videos are filmed in a succession of over time. And I know the last one was super long. This one's gonna be shorter. I'm gonna try to release shorter videos. But today, we're working on, let me show you what we're working on. Thanks for joining. So today is a fuel cell, working on the can, the cage for the can. Brad's working on that, super stoked on that. We're still determining where we're gonna put it. I think it's gonna go back here in the stock location. But what I'm working on is floors. So we're doing something very odd. We're riveting in aluminum floors because it is a race truck. So made these filler pieces to support the cab mounts and seal them up. What we like to do is after you drill these are 5/16 holes, you mark the area that's been rust bulleted. Clean it with my handy dandy die grinder, which I did burn the mess out of it, but it still works, miracle. It's a little bit looser now, but so I'll just kind of clean those areas, then I'll weld that in, seam seal it, and rivet the floors in, and then I'm going to patch this hole. We've got as much rust board in there as we can. Again, if it was a restoration truck, I'd be replacing this, but it's not, and they're pretty solid otherwise. And a quick update on the bump stops. Well, if you remember back from a previous video, you'll notice that I said I was concerned about this front drive shaft. And we did some testing where we put 400 pounds and Brad was jumping up and down. And this was bottoming out. So that is your worst fear with a reverse shackle in a race situation. Again, if this was a street truck, it'd probably never be an issue. But on the race truck, you're gonna have some high impact moments. So these drive shafts are going back to Tom Woods. They're gonna take 1.25 inches out of that, out of this part of the drive shaft so that fits right. And I got these fabbed up. So they're gonna sit here and hit the pads, man. So I'll get those on today. Whoops. So things are coming together, man, just step by step, day by day. So rolling on, bump stop. When I made the bump stop bracket, I didn't realize that the bump stop to be centered on this plate had to stick outside the frame a little bit, so I had to make this sub plate. And I think when you're fabricating, you're supposed to round off corners or taper corners or something, but it'll be good enough. So that's that. Looking pretty sweet. Gotta go do the other side now. All right, welcome to a new day. Today's task is fuel cell mounting. I'm gonna kind of condition this area, modify this area so that we can put the fuel cell in there. So we cut this lip off this cross member. Brad did that yesterday. And I'm putting in this piece of angle to give it back its structure because we're gonna actually weld the fuel cell cage directly to that. And the second thing, when Owen gets here, we gotta drill and rivet these floors. So that'll be 2 fun projects, and then hopefully start cutting some holes in the body this afternoon for the cage. And then we're just about 3 more working days until it's cage time. So, whew, big stuff. All right, next up, I just gotta drill holes from the aluminum into the sheet metal. All right, part 2 of the aluminum floor bit. Owen's we're actually using a construction adhesive. I heard this stuff is gnarly. I'm gonna do in between those two. So we're gonna hit that whole thing just like that. This is so that the floors don't vibrate or rattle, and they're just a little more watertight. All right, so Wooly is welding the front bumper. I'm so stoked about that. And Owen is painstakingly riveting these floors, which is, I'm telling you, man, this is a killer idea. Look at that. Oh yeah. Owen, what's the technique?
You just go twice. Like, you want me to run through one?
In your surfer voice.
Another time.
Yeah, let's watch him do one.
So apply pressure. Squeeze like a man. And go again. And it'll break. You empty it out and add it to your pile.
Your graveyard.
Let me just explain the concept of bang energy to you, okay? Let me just explain. You take the Bose headphones logo and you put it on a can. Some guy walks up to you. First, take a hardworking kid like me, right? Look at all of I have accomplished. Take a hardworking kid like me and you. And the guy walks up to me and he says, I can make you work harder. And I say, okay, how much? And he goes, well, $5,000 over the course of 3 years, okay? And $3 transactions for a clear, strange liquid in a can that has the Bose headphones logo on it. So we shook hands. And now I have a heart condition. And a lot of energy.
All right, welcome to a new day. Woo! Today is Owen's gonna come in, rivet that floor. It's been rust bulleted ×2. I re-chased all the holes out for the rivets, got more rivets. Everything's ready to rock on that. This side, I'm still so stoked on this. But I'm fitting this, I think I'm just gonna live with this placement, which means we'll put the batteries, maybe even the spare tire in front of the tank. I gotta think about that. I am going to do an aluminum bumper. Oh, check this out. Special thanks to my friend Wooly for welding this up. And the reason we didn't fully weld it is because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it heat treated, because aluminum anneals when you get it hot. So meaning it loses its hardness. So he tried to weld as minimally as possible with maximum strength, so that if I don't get it heat treated, it'll still be fine for the race. And then in that same discussion, we talked about mounting the lights to this thin tube, and Willie thought it was a bad idea because this stuff's thin and that it would crack. And so in the original design, I think that's what these holes were for, lighting. So I don't know if it'll mess with the beam. Comment if you know. These are spots. I don't think it'll mess with the beam to have them sideways. but we'll see. But I think it looks pretty trick. Got these all fully welded and blew some paint on there. This difference in sheen is like, this is that steel it paint. So anywhere that there's potential for cracking or the need to weld, I am going to put some toe points / gussets in here, so that'll be cool. And then this is an area that Dan and I have been discussing, that he's most concerned about the frame cracking. I have minimal concern, but I understand where he's coming from. So, and I don't know if I walked through this in a previous video, but for the front, the A-hoop mount, we're gonna come up from here all the way out, up here with a big flat plate. The flat plate will wrap onto the top of this and it'll create a pad, and then it will come down. So it'll effectively gusset up this whole area and create a pad for the A-hoop to come through the cab and meet into it like this. So that's gonna be Saturday and Monday. And Wednesday we go to the cage. Oh, we got the front drive shaft out to go back to Tom Woods. And we got this. I think this is good enough. I didn't want it hanging down super low, but I also don't want it hanging up. I know that's not the right way to say that, but sticking up out of the bed 17 inches. So this I felt was like a happy medium of ground clearance, a risk abatement to damaging the fuel cell. Now what I may end up doing is throwing an aluminum sheet in here and riveting it in just to create another puncture protection layer. So, but anyway, she's looking good. Super stoked. I'm gonna get cracking on welding this in today and tomorrow. All right, so what we're doing here is, before I had some temporary spacers, my cage frame, can cage, whatever you want to call it, is approximately a 1/4 inch narrower than the frame rails, which is just perfect. So I'm welding in these plates as spacers, and I'll do a quick test fit. All right, busy little push. So what's exciting is things are starting to, I mean, we've been for a little bit, but things are starting to be put together for the last time, not mocked up, not have to come back apart. So that's really exciting. And I want to show you what I've been working on for the last few hours. Got the fuel cell can cage ready to rock. So let's go check it out. All right, here it is. I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's welded the heck in there, so I pray it doesn't have to come out. It's fully welded. I maybe could have put some more triangulation in there, but I figured it's pretty deep. And in a forward impact, it's got this cross member holding the whole thing. And it's welded so many places. Sorry about my shoddy welds. I can tell my weld quality is getting worse. Just been working on this for 4 or 5 hours today. And but anyway, pretty cool. And the aluminum floors, my favorite thing on the truck so far. Just blew it black. I don't know. I just wanted to make it look a little more finished. There's going to be an aluminum dash that runs across there once the cage is in. And tomorrow we're going to put the pedal assembly clutch master, brake master, accelerator pedal, all that kind of good stuff. I'll get this side painted. Oh, and thanks for riveting that. And then tomorrow we're gonna get the back half of this floor all cut out for the tank and install some 1x1, because I have to cut out this brace. There's a brace underneath here, so I want the 1x1 to run from this brace, cap that brace off, and I'll have it run all the way up to this brace. So, well, kind of. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But yeah, gonna be a big day, and got about 3 more work days until it's time for the cage. So lots of work to do still, but she's coming out sweet. Check it out. All right, so here's the engine compartment. Pretty much everything's been gone through. Everything's in good working order. It's a 345 4-barrel, new brake master cylinder, and I mean everything's in the last 2 years. Pretty much everything's been replaced. Has functional AC, which is pretty new, just last summer. Heat works great. Windshield wiper washers work great. Everything works pretty sweet. And here's a cold start video. It's been sitting for about a week. Just give it about 3 pumps. As you can hear, the motor sounds great. All right, so it's a new day. Woo. Brad's back. We're putting in the pedal assembly, getting that all final installed, as well as the firewall. I'm gonna blow some paint on the can cage. And then the big mish of the day is cutting out. There's a couple things going on, and I'm trying to salvage as much of the rear floor as possible. That hole right there, so the second rib in right on the outside is where I gotta cut. But then I also need, the frame rail sits about right here, and there's gonna be a plate, so I'll cut that out as soon as I cut this out. But anyway, there's gonna be a 30 by 30 box. So it's gonna get thin, and I'll beef it up with some of that 1x1, and we'll see how it turns out. And I'm just using this piece of flat bar for my guide. So I'm just taking my grinder, resting it on there, running it up as you saw in the video, which gives me a nice clean straight cut. Man, there's not gonna be a lot of support back here, but we'll figure it out. I'm probably gonna put like some bracing down from the body or this way. We'll stiffen this back up.
Yeah, it needs to go up and then to the right a little bit.
Check this out. Sorry dudes, I got 6 dudes over here and I forgot to press record on the time lapse, so you get to watch us fine tune it. All right, so here. Oh, you ready? Let's come forward. Barely. Who's job is this?
Oh, look at this.
Huh.
That's what we're hitting on.
Let's get it. How far? It's really above bars.
You have it.
I just had it. Is it, oh, who's up there?
Right here.
All right, team, here she is. It's so exciting to see it on its wheels. Just take it all in. It's really exciting. So I got a punch list of things to do. Punch list of things to do for Wednesday, the cage. So today's Saturday. And then I'll have 2 days after the, so then that Wednesday I'll go to cage, Wednesday through Saturday. Then Monday, Tuesday I'll have to mount the fenders and grill and hood. And then Wednesday it's gonna ship to Iowa, and then we'll get the Iowa team on it to finish it up. But it's really exciting, it looks killer. I'm super stoked. It's for the dream, guys. Till next time, see ya.